If you're watching this video, you probably have an interest in starting your own Pokemon card or TCG business. And an important aspect of that is money. Can you make money doing this? And if so, what does the natural progression of a small business look like? So today, let's go over the first month-ish of my profits since I restarted my Pokemon card business. Spoiler, it's gonna look a little different than you'd expect. But first, my name is Coda. I own Coda's Collectibles, and I restarted my TCG business about a month ago, probably a little over a month ago. I wanted to make this video right at a month in, but that is not the case. So month-ish, we'll call it. It's been a really fun journey. And if you are interested in following along with my business and my growth and all the stuff that I am learning, please make sure you subscribe, like all that fun stuff. We're so close to 500 subscribers. That's super cool. Thank you guys so much who have subscribed and watched. For context, I started off with about $300 worth of inventory. This is a few slabs that I had vaulted PSA and some slabs here and some singles and a little bit of bulk. I'm not including those in the current expenses simply because those were paid off by last year's profits. This is stuff that I bought for last year's inventory. So for my expenses for this calendar year, they are not included. So just keep that in mind. I didn't start at zero. I started relatively close to zero. So if you have a collection or something that you can sell off to fund your startup, you're gonna be starting probably somewhere similar, maybe a little bit more honestly. So just for context, that's our starting point. My main platform is TCG Player, and it probably will be for the foreseeable future. I don't have a scanner, so eBay is a little bit more difficult, but I also do have some stuff on eBay and some stuff that was sold through the PSA Vault. So those are the three revenue streams that we are going to be looking over. So first, TCG Player. The first month-ish, and we're calling about 5 weeks, really. I think it started on the 9th or something like that of January. That's when the first video went up and we starting. So it's somewhere around there. And so far we are currently sitting at $1,916.72 of gross sales. So that's sales before fees are taken out. And again, this is sales and shipping amount because they're included together in TCG Player and in eBay as well. That is on 154 orders. So again, not a ton, but with where I started, I'm pretty satisfied with where this is. I have bought a few collections and things that I've put up. So that has been really helping the numbers a lot, but still pretty good for the first month-ish of restarting this thing. Now the fees. This is the most frustrating part about using these platforms, obviously. If I could use my own website to sell this stuff at the same rate, I obviously would. But this is kind of like what I consider the marketing budget. So outside of my YouTube videos that I make, this is the way to get my stuff, my inventory out there. So TCG Player, eBay, whatever, has their platform that they've built. So they're kind of like responsible for all that stuff. All I do is list. So that is my marketing budget, my convenience fee. This is why I buy at 70 to 75%, maybe 80% for the highest end products, because I need to make sure that I can make a margin between that and what the market price or a little bit over market price where I sell at comes in. So that is kind of why that's priced in. That's why when you're buying stuff to sell in TCG Player, make sure that you are pricing in your margins and the fees so you can buy at a rate that allows you to still make a profit. Those fees are sitting at $322.34. So not a small amount. And it is frustrating when I see that, but at the same time, I understand the purpose of it. And if I wasn't using TCG Player or eBay, because eBay has basically the same fees, I would be not selling nearly as much. So it's just the price of doing business. And refunded orders, obviously those will come out of my gross sales, and that is only $2.24. It was one order that I think the card was just missing from my inventory. It was something from my old inventory that I had apparently not inventoried properly. So make sure you keep up with your inventory. It's a nuisance and it is a hassle, but especially if you're dealing with bulk cards. But it is really important, and you don't want customers to have a bad experience. So that was one order that did get refunded. He was pretty chill about it, no big issue. So that was the only refunded order that we dealt with this month. So after all of that, after all of the fees and refunds and all of that, we are sitting at $1,592.74 in net sales minus fees and refunded orders. Not bad for the first month-ish. Pretty happy with that. We have invested a lot of the income back into other collections and grading stuff, which we'll go over in our expenses, but not bad. So we'll move on to eBay. eBay is pretty much non-existent at the moment. This is where a lot of my slabs and stuff go, but for now, I didn't have a ton. I did have like a couple slabs, I think, and an ETB that I got from a collection that went up there. So from that, we have done 2 sales, which is not a ton, but they were decent sales. And those 2 sales, after shipping, fees, all that stuff came out, ended up being at $152.11. So not bad at all. This is part of the reason that I like getting ETBs and stuff in collections, sealed in collections, because it moves very fast. And that's with all the fees and everything taken out. So $152.11. for that. So let's move on to the PSA vault. This is where I had 3 of those slabs left over from when I was grading last year. This was stuff that was paid for by last year's stuff. So this was part of the starting inventory. 2 of these I did accept the PSA offer on simply because it was easier to just get that done with. So I did sell 1 through eBay for another, it was another $80, $85 slab. So all in all, after fees and after PSA took their cut, I ended up with $123.51 from those 3 cards. So total net profits from my 3 income streams. I don't make any money on YouTube or any other social media. So that is my 3 sources of income, is $1,868.36. No qualms with that. I think it was pretty good. We did see a lot of turnover in my singles and everything. So I am a little low on inventory right now, but grading stuff that's going to be coming in hopefully in the next month will be a huge boost for that. Let's go over to the least fun part of this, and this is our expenses. Please make sure you're tracking your expenses so tax season comes around and you can get that nice tax write-off. I keep track of everything. I will have spreadsheets for this video next time, but for now, we're just gonna go off of the numbers that I have written down. So these expenses are including my PSA membership, my fees paid so far for grading, which is honestly the biggest portion of it probably, not to mention getting inventory, getting collections, getting bulk. Overall, our expenses up to this point are $1,503.65. That is why our expenses are the way they are. I'm right now in a phase of constantly reinvesting everything that I make from this business back into this business. I am taking nothing from it simply because I want to grow the business. And I think that's kind of the phase I'm in right now, and it's a really important phase. So yes, my current profits are now sitting at $364.71. All of that is going to be reinvested. I have another grading order that I'm going to be sending out, so that is going to be reinvested straight back into this. And technically, if I was only focused on sealed and collections, I would be in a higher profit tier, but because I'm doing grading and because there's an investment ahead on grading before you can get the profits of it back, the inventory back, that's kind of, we're in the position of I've paid for stuff that I don't have yet. That's just kind of where that is, but I am super thrilled with where we are. I think we are growing at a good rate. I've been able to continue making content and keeping up with that, and I've been able to not feel overloaded and overwhelmed, which is a really important thing for me. So I hope that was an encouragement to you. If you're kind of in a similar starting position and you feel like, wow, I'm really not making any money from this, just understand where you're at. When you're starting off, it's a lot of reinvestment. You take a while before you can see a profit back into your pocket, which is perfectly fine, because if you really want to grow this thing, that's a requirement, really. You have to be reinvesting and reinvesting back into it. It doesn't have to be grading. It doesn't have to be collections. It doesn't have to be sealed. It can be whichever you choose it to be, like whatever feels more comfortable for you. But for me, that is currently collections and grading heavily, and I'm really excited for it. I think this is going to do really well. I think we're going to continue seeing good growth. I'm still just plugging away, grinding away, trying to find every little penny that I can find in this business to make sure that this stays profitable, that I can continue reinvesting, and we can continue growing this thing. My plan is to do this every month. I want to do a monthly update on where the business is, how the profits are going, because I really feel like if I'm going to talk about this stuff on YouTube, if I'm going to put out these videos, then I need to show that I am walking the walk. I'm not just talking about stuff and then completely ignoring it and doing whatever else I want. That is something I do not want to seem or come off as. So that is why I am going to try to do this as an accountability to myself, to make sure that I'm keeping up with my numbers, that I'm staying on top of things. Also an accountability to you to show that, hey, what I'm talking about is stuff that I'm doing actively. This is stuff that I am currently pursuing and not just babbling about. Anyway, that is all for this video. Again, if you have any questions about any of this kind of stuff or any of my business strategies or content strategies or whatever, please leave it down in the comments below. I love chatting with you guys down there, and make sure you subscribe and all that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Please take care of yourselves. Peace.